everyone, built by Bai Team. I'm so excited for this week's Bendy with Bai stretch class. This is going to be a really good one. We're going to be doing a groin and adductor class, and I'm coming at you from Stretch Lab again because, surprise, surprise, I didn't end up leaving. There was a lot of changes. The ownership and new management made a huge difference and was willing to fix things. We'll just put it that way. They were willing to fix some things that I've been struggling with. So I'm really excited to be staying here. So I'll be here part-time. I'm going to be doing my Bendy with Bai assisted stretching in Lehigh as well. And then I also got like nutrition coaching and like where we focus on nutrition and your workouts and healthy habits as well. So lots of services for you to work on your health and fitness in a very well-rounded way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this Bendy with Bai stretch class working on groin and adductor. Okay, so our groin and our adductor are going to be all of these inside muscles here on the leg. And I know this is kind of like a funky area that kind of makes people uncomfortable, but there can be a lot of chronic tightness here. It can be really underactive. We're maybe not utilizing it the most throughout our day-to-day life. So it's really important to make sure that we're giving this area some TLC to avoid any pain, discomfort, to avoid any injuries long-term, things like that. So our first stretch that we're gonna start off with is gonna be called a tripod stretch. So let's kick this left leg out to our side. I wanna make sure that the sole of our foot is planted into whatever surface that you're gonna be stretching on today. And then what we're gonna do, bending here on our right leg, you're gonna come out here in front and we're going to rock throughout this stretch. So I want us to bring our weight forward, send our weight back. And this is a good stretch that you can feel clear down into the knee almost, which this isn't typically one. This can cause knee pain if it's like pretty tight, but it's not like my number one culprit if you have knee pain, but it'll definitely help, especially if there's like some chronic tightness going on here. So go ahead and just rock throughout this motion. Good, sending it as far back as you can, as far forward. Again, keeping that foot planted into the bench to make sure that we are getting that stretch into this area as much as possible. Go ahead and rock for 3 more with me. Today's gonna be a really quick class because, I mean, if you can imagine, there's not a ton of stretches that you can do for this area. We're kind of limited, but we're gonna get a little creative today. Go ahead and give me 1 more big deep inhale. Exhale, and go ahead and bring that leg in. We're gonna switch sides where we're gonna extend our right leg here out to our side. The sole of our foot is planted into whatever surface we're stretching on. And you can even walk it out a little wider if you're needing. And kind of notice, this side I'm not as tight on. You might kind of notice for you, you might be tighter on one side over the other. I also wanna make sure that we're not like flexing there. Go ahead and relax and let all those muscles let loose. Good, and just try to sink into it to get a good stretch here on the inside of the leg, all throughout that adductor. This one is like pretty, there's a couple people that I typically see have tight adductors. Well, one, everyone's kind of got tight adductors because it's just not the most comfortable stretch by any means. But this can be really common for pregnancy. Mamas might have some pain in this area, so this could be a really good class for you. Basketball players, they always have tight adductors, so this is a really good class to make sure that we're incorporating. Again, still just make sure that you're rocking throughout the motion, send your weight forward. And as you're breathing, try to sink deeper into that stretch. Yeah, our body is complex and supposed to move in such like funky ways, and if we're not moving in funky ways, we're gonna lose the ability to stretch and move our body in the way we'd like to. So this is important for performance and just well-rounded functional fitness, which is what we're about. Go ahead and give me 2 more, rocking back and forth, big deep breaths, sinking deeper into that stretch. This next one that we're gonna do, we're going to go ahead and take it to our back. Go ahead, make sure that your back is flat. I don't want our pelvis tilted so that like there's spacing between us. Tuck it under, so we're there, and we're just going to put our feet into a butterfly position, and we're just gonna let gravity do its thing here. Big deep breaths. Let it go. Good. This one you might have some stretching here on the inside. I know for me, I just have very tight hips, so this is gonna be one that you might even feel into this area as well. But go ahead, I want you to put your hands on the inside of your leg, on the inside of your thigh, and just lightly pull down. It doesn't have to be too intense, and if there's pain, like if you're sitting here and that feels like enough of a stretch, keep doing that. If it doesn't feel as intense enough and you guys like this is like feeling like a mediocre stretch for myself, so I'm gonna add a little bit of intensity to it. Taking some big deep breaths, let it go. Hang out here for about 5 more breaths. But you guys, I'm telling you, if you do the Built by Bai program, if you follow the Bendy with Bai stretch classes, my body has never felt better. And I just know it's coming from the strength training side, which the Built by Bai workouts will have you covered. Then the flexibility and mobility side which is what we are working on weekly between these classes. And if you follow them in order, you're going to have a very well-rounded balance of flexibility. You got to make sure that you're still stretching. I've been incorporating more of the mobility training into the workouts itself, so that'll be a good way to make sure you're staying on top of your flexibility and mobility. But yeah, make sure you're balancing it all because it is important for a well-rounded level of fitness and health. Now, this next one, go ahead and grab your stretch strap, and if you don't have one, I'm gonna bully you until you get one. But honestly, I'm just gonna make you nerd out like me. This is a great tool to help you with your flexibility and mobility goals. So we're gonna go ahead and lay on our back. We're gonna loop that stretch strap over our foot. You can also use a towel, a dog leash is another really common one, a jump rope, or resistance bands. There's tons of options. You're not just limited to here. This other leg, I want us to lay it out straight, and then what we're gonna do is just let this right leg fall to our side. And again, creating a good stretch all throughout the inside of the leg. This isn't the most comfortable one. I want us to make sure that we're keeping our left hip pinned down, that we're not like rolling with the stretch. So if you need to hold on to something or maybe not go as deep into the stretch, just make sure that your left glute is staying into the bench. What else do you guys stretch on? Just let me know what you stretch on. Big inhale, big exhale. Give me 2 more. One more, biggest one. Beautiful, go ahead and bring that leg in. I know that can be an intense one. We're gonna go ahead and flip sides. Again, sending this right leg straight. It's gonna go on my notebook. Looping that stretch strap around your foot. And again, just let that leg fall to the side. Oh, this is such a good one. But again, I'm like with the Bendy with Bai stretch classes, they're gonna make sure that you are working on all areas of that we need, like kind of some TLC. So I'm gonna ask for recommendations. This was a class actually recommended by a mama. So because groin pain and adductor pain is really common during pregnancy. I know I had it so bad. I was so uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to address it. So this class would have been great for me 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Wow. Crazy how time flies. But even after pregnancy, it's not like we go to physical therapy after you birthed a baby. So sometimes these muscles can hang on to that tightness. So it's going to be really important to make sure that we are lengthening them back to an appropriate length so that you feel your best. Go ahead and give me 2 more breaths. In through your nose, exhale throughout your mouth. 1 more, biggest one. Beautiful, go ahead and bring that leg in. We're gonna go ahead and finish off with a yogi squat. And I have the worst allergies, so if I sound like it, leave me alone. But for a yogi squat, this might be really uncomfortable, but this is a really important one to make sure, because this is, I wanted to hang onto that ledge, but I can't quite reach it. So you're gonna sink those hips deep, and I want your elbows to drive your knees out. You might feel this in your hips, like the outside of your hips, but again, this is gonna be helping your groin as well. This is a great stretch to incorporate consistently. It's great on your ankles, your knees, your back. We ideally want to be able to sit comfortably in this stretch for a really long time, but most people can't. So that's something that you can kind of work up to. Where I stretch a whole bunch, this is something I can do a little bit better. but I'm not perfect at because I still kind of need to hang on. I would need to take a wider stance, but if this is pretty painful in your knees, going out wider will definitely help. And kind of play around with your alignment of what feels better. Maybe you need to send your toes out wider. Now that feels a little bit more comfortable for me in big deep breaths. Good. Just so you can get a side view. Keep hanging out there. We're almost done. Good. Just get used to incorporating this into your movements, your workouts, anything like that. We're gonna drag those knees apart. Give me 2 more breaths. 1 more. And go ahead and shake it out. Beautiful. Okay, well, great class this week, friends. Thanks for getting bendy with me. New classes every week. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, please tell your friends about this. You're supporting a small business out here, and I just want to help you get as bendy as possible so that you can have higher quality of life, perform better, feel better, no pain, anything like that, because stretching has truly changed my life. It's improved the Built by Bai workouts, and this is just the beginning. So grateful for you guys. Let's make it a great week. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, and I'll see you on next week's Bendy with Bai stretch class. Thanks, guys.